We are going over the Lions and Packers game, and it's a little bit worse than we expected as I went over some of the tape, specifically the offensive line. We're going to get into this game and what it means. But before we do, give me a one-word reaction to the Lions' loss to the Packers in the comments right now. Let's get it started. I want to jump in, look at all the numbers. I wanted to rewatch the game. And boy, oh boy, it's a little bit worse than expected. Now, when we look at these stats, though, by the way, it's just one game. Still, that's all we can utilize. And right now, the Lions offense ranked 27th in total offense after the first week, and that's not good. We were ranked 1 last year with 33.2 points per game. That was historic offense, and now we're at a measly one of the worst in football at 27. The Lions offense took a hit, and there's many reasons to why this occurred. And we're going to go over one of them that's hurting the Lions offense right now. Lions ranked dead last, 32 in running. Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery couldn't do nothing in the run game. And it's not them. It is specific to the offensive line and how the play calling is going. These guys are good, but our running is bad now, and we got to get back to the run game and stick with it. With that said, it's going to be difficult because the interior of the offensive line is not doing any sort of run blocking and or pass blocking. We're going to break down what occurred to that offensive line. We're going to get into it because it's quite cray-cray if you ask me. Again, before we get into it, give me a one-word reaction to the Lions' loss to the Packers in the comments right now. Looked over the game, watched it again. I didn't want to watch it this morning. This is a screenshot that's going all over Facebook, Twitter, social media. Look at this. Watch the offensive linemen, folks. Look at Glasgow, Ratledge, a defender not even blocked. They didn't even look that way. This is misassignments. This is the growing pains of the offensive line. This is what happens when you have a young offensive line. You don't have Kevin Zeitler anymore, and I knew that was a terrible decision not to re-sign Zeitler back. It was a terrible decision, and he's looking good for the Titans. This offensive line needs reps. Last year, years before, you would never see this. You would never see this. Losing Frank Ragnow was devastating, more than I even initially thought. And in watching this offensive line all around, folks, I have to say this. If you're going to have Tate Ratledge as the future center, you might as well just do it right now as the growing pains are bad, because Graham Glasgow looks lost out there. Completely lost. And if that continues, doesn't matter what scheme we got, who the coordinator is, we're going to suck on offense. We're not going to be able to run the football, and Jared Goff's not going to be able to do anything. Now, let's look at the stats of the Lions so far against their opponent. Now, it's only been one opponent because it's the Green Bay Packers. But Lions right now, 27th points per game, 13th in the NFL. Giving up 27 points per game, that's 26th. Our opponent put up 27 points, sixth best, and they only allowed 13. I don't know why it says 23. That's 7th best. Jared Goff didn't look at the good in this game. Again, this has to do with the offensive line and the play calling. 225 yards, 13th, 1 touchdown, 9th interception, 122nd, and QBR 19th. That's the biggest one, is the QBR there, 52.9. We were passing simply 5 yards every single play. 5-yard pass, 5-yard pass, 5-yard pass. Jared Goff didn't have time in the pocket. But there was time in the pocket, and it was still a check down. We got to get better play calling. Better play calling. And I want to see Jared Goff audible more. We didn't see a whole lot of that in this game. We have to utilize the weapons that we got. We have to. We have to. Let's look at the highest and lowest graded players on the offense. Highest graded, Penei Sewell, great. Sam LaPorta, great. St. Brown, fine. And our running backs, again, like I said, it was not the running back's fault. It was our offensive line. Lowest graded, Graham Glasgow was the worst. Jared Goff, second worst. Brock Wright, J-Mo, and Mahogany. Not good from the offensive line. Mahogany, Graham Glasgow, and you got to play better than this. We have to do better than this on an offense and an offensive line. If not, this is going to be a long season. A really long season. Not everything is bad, though. We're going to go over some good, but there's a lot bad. There is. We're in a sub-battle. I'm going against Harrison Graham, Bears Report, Chicago Bears. Sub-battle. Subscribe to the channel. We cannot get beat by Harrison Graham. We already lost to the Packers in a game, and we lost the sub for the Packers. Let's win this one. Let's continue on and talk about the defense, because the defense was horrible. 0 pass rush. 0. Adian Hutchinson. Marcus Davenport. We heard about his bull rush in training camp and how great he was doing. Where was it? Adian Hutchinson, the Hutch rule. Where was it? We were really good stopping the run. Huge shout out to Tyliek Williams, DJ Reader, and the interior, and the guys stopping the run. That's a good thing. And that's awesome. Not everything is bad. We are one of the best teams right now in stopping the run, and that's a great thing. That is a good thing. So when we look at these bad stuff, just understand we are one of the best at stopping the run. But we are one of the worst in pass rush. Watching that game and seeing Jordan Love literally go through his reads twice was ridiculous. And these were our starters. And we still got Joshua Pascal and Ali McNeil, who's injured. When Ali McNeil comes back, I do think that's going to help a little bit. I do. Another bad, Terrion Arnold. Bad start. We seen and heard reports he was doing great in training camp, and he fell off a cliff in this game before he got injured. We'll talk about the injury in a second. There's good news there. But he looked bad. Bad. He has got to play better, and it's not going to happen probably this Sunday. He does have a groin injury, but we're going to get into that right now. Good news on the groin injury. Great news here for Terrion Arnold. It's not considered serious per Jeremy Fowler. So Terrion Arnold's got a groin injury. It's not serious. Groins can take a little bit of time to heal. So I don't think he plays Sunday. That's just my gut feeling. Maybe I'm wrong. But it's not serious. This is not going to linger throughout the season as right now. So that is a great, great, great sign. Let's get into the numbers here for the defense. Again, not good numbers. Highest was good. Brian Branch, though, 85. That would have been an interception. It wasn't for the penalty. Bad using the helmet for a personal foul. That was on him. Adian Hutchinson, he helped stop the run. He's getting some pressure. Alex Anzalone, he did good stopping the run. Thought he played all right. He almost had an interception. Meek Robertson, I thought he played well because you didn't hear his name much. And Derrick Barnes, decent. I like what Derrick did. Boy, but these guys play. I thought DJ Reed played decent, but apparently I was wrong there. He was horrible. Tyliek Williams, He was doing the run good. Same with Reeder, but not getting to the quarterback. But let's keep it a buck, folks. That's not what they're meant to do. Davenport was nowhere to be found. And I'm surprised Patrick O'Connor was on this list because he was the only one that nearly got a sack. So, and he wasn't on the field that much. So kind of take that one with a grain of salt there. Again, we're in a sub battle versus Harrison Graham in the Bears Report for Chat Sports. Let's beat them this week. Subscribe to the channel. Let's get into what the media is saying about the Detroit Lions, and it's not good. They said the Lions without offensive coordinator Ben Johnson are not the same offense. ESPN insider Adam Schefter said on Get Up on Monday, September 8th. Not innovative, not as creative, not as dangerous. Jahmyr Gibbs caught 10 passes yesterday for 31 yards, the lowest yardage total a receiver ever caught 10 passes in a game in NFL history. Dan says not even close to the same offense. The former Lions quarterback injected, and Schefter made the point, John Morton was hired as an offensive coordinator and a play caller. Rex Ryan said, how is the interior of the offensive line going to play without Frank Ragnow? Well, yesterday is any indicator they're in trouble. The play calling was drastically different. Where was the hard play action? Where was the vertical game? The deep crossers, all those type of things. No trick plays, no nothing. To me, it looked very vanilla. They were getting whipped on the interior, and they became a check down Charlie offense, almost unwatchable. You went from very best offense in the league to damn near history in the league to what we saw yesterday. That's a bad sign. And it is. No pass rush. The interior of the offensive line sucked. You win in the trenches, and we sucked in the trenches. It's got to get better, or this is going to be a long year, folks. It's going to be a long year. They have an opportunity on Sunday to change it up and be better on offense and get pass rush. So give me your thoughts about this game in the comments below. With that said, folks, adios.